What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my top 10 books of 2017 list. If you don't know, I'm a national best-selling author. I have been a published author since 2004, and I have over 21 best-selling novels. So, of course, I love to read. This year in particular, I really got back into reading. I think I've read over like 50 books this year alone. I just had this like insatiable craving to read after not reading for so long, because I had just been so consumed over the last few years with my own work. But this year I got the reading bug again, and I am just so happy because I read so many great novels. And to honestly narrow it down to my top 10 books of 2017 was really hard to do, but I got the list down. If you're an avid book reader like myself, please check out these titles. I enjoyed them. I got my whole entire life. So let's get started with my list. Number 10 on my list is Black Obsidian by Victoria Quinn. This is a 4-part book series. So get ready to read 4 freaking hot ass novels. If you're into erotica, if you're into bondage, this is the book for you. And honey, when I tell you this book is intended for mature audiences, I am not lying. You're gonna be hot and tingly down below. You're gonna want to fuck some, suck some, slapped, tickled, tucked, whatever the fuck. You gonna want it after reading the Black Obsidian series. It is sexy. It is full of love, lust, romance, a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of drama in there. But at the core of this book is a love story between the two main characters and their navigation into this crazy relationship that they share with one another, and this crazy sexual journey that they go on. The lead character, Calloway, is an alpha male. He is strong, he's confident, he's arrogant. He is everything you want in a man. He's rich, he got a big dick, he got a nice body. Then you have the female character in this book, Rome, who's strong, who has a kind of like a smart mouth. She's funny, she's sexy, she's a virgin, she ain't had no dick before ever. So you know when Calloway give her that D, baby, she ain't gonna know what to do with herself. So check out the Black Obsidian series. It is well worth it. Thank me later. On to number 9. Notice by K. Webster. I stumbled across this book on Amazon, and when I tell you, I am so happy that I took a chance on this author. Her name is K. Webster. He, her, I don't know if it's a her, him, whatever. Whoever the fuck it is, whoever the fuck K is, baby, she can write a damn book. Warning. Notice is a dark and unusual romance, and she ain't lying about that. Extreme sexual themes and violence in certain scenes, which could trigger emotional distress, are found in this story. If you are sensitive to dark themes, then this story ain't for you, honey. If you aren't into super obsessive stalkers, then this story isn't for you either. But I am into both. I want a crazy nigga bitch that's gonna love me unconditionally. This book is so good. And when she said strange and unusual romance, bitch, she was not lying. This book deals with obsessive behavior, stalking, romance, sex beyond sex, honey, controlling ex-boyfriends, abusive relationships, prostitution. This book runs the gamut, and it will take you on an emotional roller coaster. The main character, who is an alpha male by the name of Grayson, he is the main character's boss. He is Violet's boss. He does not pay her attention. She's been working for this nigga for years. He ain't never even gave her the time of day until finally she cussed his ass out because she had enough of him. And when he finally looks at her for the first time, she is everything that he's ever wanted in a woman, but he has obsessive behaviors that he just cannot control. Oh my God, this book is so freaking good. Check out Notice by K. Webster. Number 8 is the Button series by New York Times bestseller Penelope Cruz. This is a 6-part series, you guys. So once you get in, you're not going to get out into the 6th book. But I'm telling you, each book is worth it. The book series starts off with Buttons and Lace. The synopsis reads, I owe him a debt, a big one. The payment can't be settled with money or favors. He only wants one thing, me. Every action gets a reward, a button. Once I fill his jar with 365 buttons, he'll let me go. He'll let me walk away. But I have to earn every single one by submitting to the darkest, cruelest, and most beautiful man I've ever known. Trigger warning, there are some dark and disturbing scenes of abuse and punishment in this series. But honey, when I tell you the Button series gave me life, it gave me life. This series deals with sex trafficking, abuse, BDSM, romance, intrigue, betrayal. It gives you everything you're looking for. It is very dark. It will push your comfort levels. It will test your boundaries as a reader, but it is so good. I found myself on the edge of my seat numerous times reading this series, especially the first 3 books where you deal with the character Crow, who is the alpha male, who is rich, who is sexy, who's cruel, who has no heart. He's heartless. He is a gangster. But when he lays eyes on the wonderful Pearl, aka Button Baby, he has a heart of steel at first, but she starts to thaw that ice around his heart. Number 7 on my list is the Wayward Love series by Love Belvin. I got introduced to this author literally about 2 months ago, and I have been hooked on her work ever since then. I've pretty much read her entire catalog at this point. Her writing is beyond fabulous. She's so detailed. She's so articulate. Her mind goes in places that I can even dream of going. And when you guys on Facebook told me to read this series, I immediately jumped on it. Soon as I cracked open the book, I was hooked. The series is something that I have never read before because she takes a different spin on a love story. It was just so unique, so different. The first book in the Wayward Love series is The Left of Love. Note, this is the first installment of 3 books. It contains explicit language, sexual content, and ends on a cliffhanger. If you do not wish to have these elements in your reads, this is not the venture for you. But I'm telling you, fuck all that bullshit. This is the book series to read. I fell in love with Kennedy and Isaac's love story. It was so new. It was so different. The twists and turns, the plot twists in this book were just amazing. The chemistry between the 2 main characters were so good. They came from 2 totally different backgrounds, but they found a commonality within each other. They leaned on each other and they started off friends before they became lovers, and that was the base of their relationship and what took them through all the hard times that they went through apart and together, and what continued to draw them together and make them become one. Number 6, 3 a.m. by J. Burnett. As I said in the beginning of this video, it was years went by where I hardly read a thing. This year, I had the reading bug all over again. And I started off reading a lot of books, to be honest with you, by a lot of different white authors. I had been kind of turned off by black authors. I got tired of the whole shoot 'em up, bang bang, she a hoe, she fucking this girl, man, this nigga don't love me. I got tired of that type of shit. But I ran across 3 a.m. under my Kindle Unlimited list. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read 3 a.m. for free. And I took a chance on my first black authored book outside of myself. And when I read 3 a.m., I was like, this girl has it. She got the juice. This is the type of book I like to read. She reminds me of a younger me. It was just 5 stars across the board. It took me on a journey that I did not know I was about to go on. It was dark in some areas, even too dark for me in some areas. It was cringe worthy, but I stuck with it because I fell in love with the main character, Symphony, and her boo thing, Kenyatta. The cover was bomb. The author is bomb. The story was bomb. Kenyatta was that nigga. If you are looking for a male character with swag, with confidence, got paper, he got that gift of gab, know how to talk your panties off, got some bomb ass D. Woo! Kenyatta is the character for you. I fell in love with him from page 1 because he was checking Symphony from the gate. I love Symphony because she had a mouth on her. I loved her sense of fashion. I love that she was a makeup artist. I love that she kept her circle small. She had her sister around her who always had her back. She had a drive about her to succeed and do something great from herself, even though she had this really horrible past. There will be a sequel to this book called 4 a.m. which will be out in 2018. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I hope in the sequel that she becomes even stronger within herself, sticks up for herself even more, and has more of a backbone, and because she's fighting some really tough demons, and I pray to God in the next book she gets past them. The book was left on a cliffhanger. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the next book between her and Kenyatta and all of their family and friends that are surrounding them. This book was off the chain. There was so many twists and turns, unexpected drama and beefs, killing, shootouts, everything. This book was an urban love story at its best. Burnett is a new author on the scene, and she is killing the game. I love to see young black girls getting it, and she is out here getting it. So go and check out 3 a.m. by Burnett. Number 5, Ruined by S.K. Leslie. If you are into interracial romances, this is the book for you, honey. You can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited as well. I have fallen in love with S.K. Leslie's work. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I don't give a fuck. The reviews have been phenomenal. And when I read this book in particular out of her catalog, I fell in love with the characters. I loved Mason and Max. Once he let eyes on that damn chocolate, honey, he could not let go. White boy wanted him some chocolate. He wanted him a sister in his life, honey. And he stopped at nothing to get her. Mason is just strong. He's confident. He's secure. He's a man's man. He takes care of her. He makes sure she's good at all times. You know, she's coming out of a really terrible relationship, and she's trying to fight her attraction to Mason, but it's just unstoppable, the chemistry that they have with one another. There is an unexpected twist towards the end of this book that will like literally want to make you pull your heart out of your chest and just stomp on it. Oh my God. But this book does end at a happily ever after. I loved Ruined by S.K. Leslie. Please check it out. Back on the list at number 4 is Love Belvin's The Love Accounted series. My Facebook T Squad told me to read this series. They told me it was one of the best out of her whole entire series, based on this pastor by the name of Ezra who likes to fuck. I was like, shit, let me find out what the fuck's going on in this book. So the first book in the Love Unaccounted series is In Covenant with Ezra. This disclaimer, the series is for mature audiences only. There are 3 installments to the Love Unaccounted series. This installment is a full-length novel that contains profanity, erotica, acts of bondage, domination, and violence. I read this series when I went to Chicago back in November. I read the whole entire series, book 1, 2, and 3, literally in a weekend. I was in the club, y'all. In the club reading the book. It was so damn good. On the train reading the book, in the cab reading the book, at my cousin's house reading the book, at dinner reading the book. It was so damn good, honey. When I tell you, Love Belvin made me look at pastors in a whole new goddamn way. I never thought that I would want a pastor to be my husband, a reverend, a preacher, whatever, a bishop to be my husband. But the way Ezra was fucking the dog shit, out of Lex, honey. It will make you look at these goddamn passes and shit in a whole nother way. I mean, his character exuded sex, and he was a very confident man. He spoke very well, very articulate, didn't curse, didn't use slang. He was very rigid, very self-contained, self-controlled. He liked to do things in a certain way. And then Lex came into his life and shook everything up. But honey, when I tell you he shook them drawers up off her ass, honey, this book was so good. Their love and their bond grew in this book, because this book was basically like the television show Married at First Sight, where they really didn't know each other. They rushed and got married. They really didn't even know who each other was. And so by the time they get married, they're learning each other during the marriage, and they're learning things they like about each other and they don't like about each other, and how to compromise and deal with each other's personalities and quirks and things of this nature, and dealing with the church and religion and this and that, and then their own shady backgrounds that both of them have. This series, honey, knocked me off my feet. Number 3, back on the list again, is Kay Webster's book Dirty Ugly Toy. This book was like Pretty Woman, 50 Shades. Shit. I can't even describe this book and the places that this book took me as a reader. It was just phenomenal. Dirty Ugly Toy is a novel that blurs the line of right and wrong, deals with abuse, contains dubious consent and adult subject matter. If you are sensitive to violent sexual situations, the book may not be suitable for you. Some parts of this book are not easy to read and are not intended for everyone. However, those that keep an open mind and stick with it will not be disappointed. And child, let me tell you something. This book was the shit. I loved Jessica's character. Jessica is the main character in this book. She is a prostitute. She's on drugs. I mean, she is at the worst of places that she could be in her life when she makes the deal basically with a billionaire devil. They're both two broken people. Braxton was just so sexy, such an asshole. He was so kinky and just, he was just twisted. And they fit together perfectly. He thought he was going to give her a run for her money, but honey, she had him wrapped around her finger from the moment she stepped into his goddamn Bentley, bitch. This book takes you up and down, around and around, over and over again. It is dark in places, but just stick with it. I know I've been reading a lot of dark, kinky shit, because a bitch ain't had her back cracked in 4 years. Y'all know I'm celibate, and when I do get this pussy to somebody, I want to be on the shit these niggas on in this book. Number 2, Love Elora by J. Burnett. Yes, your girl is back on my list. I told you she was a silent killer. Her book, Love Elora, made me fall in love again with urban fiction. I hate using the title urban fiction, but it made me fall in love with this style and genre of writing with drug dealers and guns and shit like that, because it was tastefully done. It was just enough ghetto shit. It was just enough hood shit. It was just enough, and it was so tastefully done. If you don't know this about J. Burnett, she's a huge Jay-Z fan like myself. That's where she got the title from. She often references Jay-Z throughout her books, which I love. I fell in love with Drake. Drake made me want to sit on his penis. I wish he was a real man in real life. Drake and Nori's romance is one for the ages. He's in a relationship already that he's been in for a few years, but everything ain't like everything at home ain't what it's cracked up to be. Here Nori comes, everything that he wants in a woman, but does he leave what he knows for something fresh and new, or does he stay at home and, you know, try to work out the situation that he has with the girl that he's been with for the last couple of years? Out of all the brothers, I loved Drake and Nori's storyline the most. After that, I loved Drew and his love story, then Drennan, then Adrian. The book was just so good. There is a sequel to this book, Love Allure Part 2. So once you read book 1, you can go and read book 2. You can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited. So please go and check out my number 2 pick and the number 1 book of 2017 for me is Devout by Takira Allen. Holy shit, holy marbles. This book, hands down, the best book I've read in 2017. It did not come out in 2017, bitch, but I read it in 2017 and I was hooked. Let me tell you something, y'all. When I read Devout, and it is a 2-part book, it's Devout and 2 Devout. Denny, honey, is everything I've ever wanted in a man. Yes, even when you learn what you learn in this book, I still want that nigga in real life. He is obsessive. He's crazy. He's loving. He gives you the D. He's caring. He's a protector. He's a provider. He's low-key stalkerish. He's charismatic. He's charming. He's fly as fuck. He got all the right things to say. Oh, he's just everything that you would want in a man, even with everything that comes along with him. Denny and Nika's story, I found myself questioning things about my own life that I had not even thought of in years. It made me question some of my relationships. That's how deep this book got for me and how much it touched me. The back and forth between these two characters, the things that these two characters took themselves through. You felt lost and pain with these characters when they went through hurt and pain. You feel it. You root for them. You want them to work when it may seem like they do not even need to be with each other, because sometimes love can be too much. You can love somebody too much. You can be a little bit too obsessive when it comes to certain people and loving someone. And this book touches on that, and it touches on issues that we in the Black community do not talk about and do not face. This book was just so good. Devout and 2 Devout are my number 1 books for 2017. Just thank me when you get done reading. Just thank me when you finish reading them. I pray to God we see these characters again in the future, because I'm not done with Nika and Denny. I want to see more of Denny fine ass bitch. Even though he ain't real, I'm gonna pretend like that nigga is. And I want to see more of his ass in the future. Shit. So that is my top 10 books of 2017. Please go check out all those titles and let me know what you think about them. If you've already read them, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Let me know what was your favorite books of 2017. Love you.